Hi, it's Julie Kerr here and welcome to bulimiafree.com. Now, if you're watching this video, it's likely you're a woman who, despite your outward success, is suffering from bulimia, and you are sick and tired of the struggle and how it's getting in the way of your happiness and health and success. You are probably exhausted mentally, emotionally and physically from the binging and purging and trying to hold it all together. You are desperate to break free from the cycle of binging and purging, but despite your best efforts and intentions, you just can't seem to do so, or not long term anyway, and you are looking for a solution that not only liberates you from the binging and purging, but enables you to regain your confidence and self-esteem so that you can live your life on your terms. And if that sounds familiar or rings true for you, then you are in the right place. Keep watching this video because I've got something really special for you. You see, I'd love to share with you my free report, the big bulimia lie that no one is telling you about. A lie that keeps you trapped and powerless. But when you see through this lie, it'll enable you to stop struggling and start moving forwards to a life of freedom. And this is the same information that I share with my private clients that enables them to stop binging and purging and start loving themselves and their bodies. And it's also the same information that has kept me free from bulimia for over 20 years. And I'd love you to benefit in the same way. So to receive your free report right now, all you need to do is put your name and email address in the boxes on the right, press the yes please button, and you'll receive that free report instantly. So go ahead and do it now. So it was about 20 years ago that I last binged and purged. Now you'd have thought I'd have remembered that wondrous day. But because I told myself so many times that I'd never binge and purge again, but always did, I never recognised it was really the last time. And so it passed unnoticed and uncelebrated. And it wasn't until some time later that I realised that not only hadn't I binged and purged, but I hadn't even thought about it. But I didn't give it much consideration. I was just delighted to be free from bulimia, free from the decades of misery, and I was just happy to get on with my life. Years later, I was at an event and I was chatting to a therapist, and I happened to mention I'd had bulimia. And she said that you can never get rid of bulimia, and that I'd always have issues in the back of my mind about food in my body. But I knew this wasn't true. I hadn't binged and purged in years, and I certainly didn't have any issues with my body or with food. Now, I'd never shared my 15-year struggle with anyone before, but there was something in her attitude that stirred something within me. So that evening when I got home, I put bulimia into Google, and I was shocked. I couldn't believe how big the problem was and how many people were suffering. What had happened in these 20 years? What the hell was going on? And I got curious, but the more I read, the more confused I got, because so much of the information was conflicting. What was bulimia really all about? What had I actually recovered from? And how had I actually recovered? And as I trawled through the internet that evening, looking for answers to these very questions, I discovered a report of a scientific experiment conducted in 1916. Here were 26 healthy and positive young men who were now, after being put on a restrictive diet for just a few months, exhibiting symptoms of what we'd call today an eating disorder. I was suddenly hit with the realisation that the symptoms that I'd been suffering from when I had bulimia hadn't meant that I was fundamentally flawed or incapable of managing my emotions, or that I was uncontrollable around food. But they'd been symptoms of my unrelenting dieting in one form or another as I tried to lose weight or control my overwhelming urges to binge. And I'd never put the two together, the dieting and the bulimia. But now so much made sense. And then I got sad. All those wasted years, all those years I'd wasted being at war with myself and my body, of struggling to recover in all the wrong ways, and of believing that there was something seriously wrong with me. But then I got mad, and I decided all that struggling and all those wasted years were not going to be for nothing. And so when I look back and understood how and what I'd done to overcome bulimia, I realised that I had to start sharing and showing others how they could do exactly the same. And since then, I've been sharing my method with other sufferers across the globe, to become bulimia free and lead lives of freedom, love, happiness and joy. So if you are a woman who is sick and tired of struggling with bulimia, don't let bulimia steal any more of your life. Recovery is possible for you. You can be healthy, you can be happy, and you can be bulimia free. So don't wait a moment longer. Grab your free report now. Simply put your name and email address in the box on the right, and that report will be with you instantly.